What is good, you guys? Welcome back to another Invincible Guardians of the Globe video. And today we are going to actually be doing a tier list. This is something a lot of you guys have been asking for, so I've been wanting to do it. Now, I'm actually doing this live on stream, so if you see my eyes glance over to the left or glance over to the right, I am reading chat. But, um, once we get into this, I want to lock in. And that's because this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I've been putting off doing the tier list because I keep waiting and waiting and waiting, trying to hope for catching it at the right time. But I've realized it's never going to be a right time of when there's no heroes coming because they're always constantly adding heroes. So I want to get into this. First things first, I'm going to say this right now. There is no technically useless characters. Every character has some use. But for long story short, the people I'm putting in useless are characters that I will personally say don't even bother building and that basically have in reality no real usage to be used at all other than if you're just choosing to do it. Like there's no real use. So I'm going to do that right now. We're going to go with, so it's going to work like this. The people that are at the top are the best in that category. The people that are at the bottom are the worst in the category. I think that's standard for how it always should be, but some people might not know that. So, at the very bottom of useless, it's going to be the Flaxen. Then it's going to actually be the Magnemite. Then it's going to be the Reaniman. And if I'm being honest, I feel like I can find more reason to use the Reaniman than I can find to use some of these criminals that nobody uses. Like, I'm never using Magna. I'm never using him. I am never using him. And the only reason you will ever even use these characters is if they get case files. Let's be totally honest. If they get case files or if you're using them to help someone else like a Titan in a case file. That's the only reason why I'm not putting this guy in useless. Because he has a little bit of use because of Titan's case file. But other than that, I would say he's useless. Now, I'm going to throw in Darkwing 2, because I think he is absolutely useless. He is horrible. And yeah, that's going to be my useless category. So, that's what I would say for useless. Why are the Reanimans useless? Well, they're useless because they're a green character, and to build up a green character, the amount of resources you would have to put into it is so much so that it's useless. And the other reason why I would say the Reaniman are useless is because building a Reaniman only would work with Cecil, and at that point, you can use anyone with Cecil because when they die, he summons them as a Reaniman anyways. So there's really no point, to be honest. But yeah, so now let's get into not completely useless. Not completely useless would be Isotope, would be Martian Man, would be Duplicate, would be Oliver. Who else? Who else could we add into not completely useless? Black Samson. Who else? I actually like Darkling too. I think he's okay. I don't think he's not. I think he's actually okay because he works in a very weird niche team. Mm, I'll leave him out for now. Rex isn't useless. I actually think that might be it for useless. I mean, not useless. And then we're gonna go to okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go to okay. No, Yeah, I'll go to okay. So now for okay, I'm gonna start with Darkwing. I'm gonna start with Multipole. I'm gonna start with. Actually, I might put Flaxen's here because the Flaxen leader isn't useless. He has one use, and that's his ability to increase the resources you earn when he is part of a mission. So that's the only thing he's useful for. So I'll put him there. Um, in okay, I'm also gonna add in. I'm gonna add in Rex. I'm gonna add in some of these guys. I'm gonna add in Aquarius is actually pretty good, so I'm gonna leave Aquarius for now. Ooh. I'll put Lucan in surprisingly. I'll put him in okay. I think Lucan could be an okay or good. I'm gonna put him in okay though, because Lucan isn't that good. Um, Same thing with like Iguana. She's like okay. She's not the best. She's not the worst. She's like okay. Actually, some people might say they think she's better than King Lizard. I don't. I think King Lizard is better than her. Um, who else? Who else? Machine Head. He's good for GTA Ops. Other than that, he's okay. For GTA Ops, he's good. Anything outside of GTA Ops, not so much. Green Ghost. I'll say she's okay. Angstrom, I'll say he's okay. Shrinking Ray, I'll say she's okay. And I think that's good for okay. Now, the reason why I have these characters in okay is going to be they all have a usage, but it's not a usage that's high demand. So like Darkwing works really well with humans. As long as you have him paired up with humans, he works really well because anytime a human ally dies, he will stun the enemy that killed that ally for 4 seconds, which is a very long stun. Multipole pairs well with that because Multipole makes copies of himself and each copy is listed as a human. So those two actually work very well off of each other. Multipole also works very well with Duplicate and with Sinister Mark. So Multipole has a few usages that he can be. Rex works well with Adam Eve, being armored or regular Adam Eve. He also works with Robot. And then he's also not that bad against not of this Earth characters. I think Lucan probably would be at the top of okay. Because Lucan could be in good, but I'll say he's okay. Shrinking Ray will be at the top, also at the top because Shrinking Ray has one usage, and that is when she is paired up with other GDA members that are human, she can make them really strong. So like if you pair her with Immortal, Bulletproof, Monster Girl, and let's say Cecil, she makes that team dramatically more tanky because of her ability of boosting GDA members defense that are human. Angstrom by himself, he's not the best character, but when you put him on a team with the Maulers, he's actually pretty good. He's actually useful. Once again, which is why I would put him in okay, not good. Because he needs the other people around him to make him useful. Same thing with Green Ghost. Green Ghost isn't bad, but Green Ghost doesn't actually heal anybody for anything. Her healing effects are really bad. They're just more of a delaying the inevitable than actually healing. Iguana, her damage output is severely bad for what you expect it to be, which is why I put her in okay than good. And I think that would be a good example of why I put everybody here. The same thing kind of goes for the people down here. Isotope, you would only use Isotope for Titan's case file. Martian Man, you would literally have no reason to build him at all, other than if you're using him to help you in one of the Guardian's case files. You would only build Duplicate because she has a case file. Same thing kind of for Rex. You would only build Kid Oliver because he has a case file. And then the only other useful use of Kid Oliver Kid Omni-Man is to use him for food for Universa to give Universa more power. Black Samson simply because he has a case file. Flaxen Leader, like I said, to boost the max amount of resources you get out of your GDA mission. And now we can go to good. Now for good, I have a good amount of people that I'm going to be putting here. No pun intended. I'm going to put. Let's start off with Rust Livingston. Rust Livingston, if you actually invest into him, he's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good. He works mostly good against humans, but he's not the best at dealing with them, but he's also not the worst. I think he works a lot better in Cecil Nightmare. In GDA Ops than he does in like battles. I think he works a lot better in like GDA Ops than that, but it's still some type of usage. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in good. Same kind of goes for a character such as Titan. I think Titan could be in great because he is a good old reliable kind of character, but I'm gonna put him in good for now. Who else would I put in here? I'm gonna put Powerplex in here. Powerplex is kind of the same purpose as Angstrom, just a little bit better. Powerplex isn't that good by himself, but with the right team around him, he makes the team better. So therefore, he is good. Who else? Machine Head. Machine Head isn't the best character in the game, especially when you think about Anissa, like him summoning two other humans alongside himself, being three humans, and that's a detrimental decree for a team if you're battling Anissa. But if you're using him in a GDA system that is meant to give you more numbers to therefore do more damage, it actually works. Like if you do a summoning team with a Machine Head, a Multipaw, a Cecil, a Darkwing, and like a Donald, or maybe a robot for extra healing, that team could actually be really nasty because Darkwing too is going to be. Darkwing is going to be sending out so many stuns because of how many humans are going to be in that team, and there's going to be so many characters summoned at one point that it's going to be absolutely just absurd damage going out. But that team would also be horrible for battling. It's more of a, once again, more of a GDA op kind of team. So a lot of these characters are going to have more uses for GDA ops. Like, for example, another criminal being King Lizard. King Lizard, he's better than Iguana, but his usage mainly comes down to him having a Komodo Dragon. And I don't think him and Komodo Dragon are on the same level. I think Komodo Dragon is much better than him. So for that reason, I'm putting him in good. Who else would I put in good? I'm gonna say Dark Blood. Call me crazy. I do think Dark Blood is better than every single person here if you invest what you need to invest into him. If you invest in Dark Blood the same way some people invest into a Battle Beast, I think Dark Blood can do the same amount of damage while actually providing a good amount of healing to the team than you would think. Who else can we put in here? Good. I'm gonna say Life Pod Robot. Life Pod Robot was someone that kind of got dropped. Everyone was kind of excited at first when he first got dropped, and then he kind of just fell out of the limelight. Like no one really cared afterwards. He is pretty good, but he kind of has the same purpose as a Powerplex, that he's just there to give a small power up to the team. So if I have to be honest, I'm gonna put him below Titan, above Rust. I'm gonna put Titan above Machine Head. No, I'll put Machine Head above Titan. I'll put King Lizard below Machine Head. I'll put Powerplex at the top, and I'll put Dark Blood right next to him. Do I want to put Monster Girl in good, or do I want to put Monster Girl in great? I'm gonna put Monster Girl in good. I'm gonna put Monster Girl in good, and I'm gonna put it as If you have the totem that she has, if you have her totem, plus you put the right team around her, she can be great. But I'm gonna put her in good because of Anissa and how we know Anissa damages humans. So for that reason, I'm gonna put her in good. Immortal, I think is slightly better than her, so I'm gonna leave Immortal for great. Um, who else? Oh my God, I missed War Woman. Yeah, get War Woman's ass down here. I think War Woman is there and okay. She has a case file, so she is definitely not useless. She's in okay. I do think Luke and Shapesmith and Rust are better than her. But yeah, definitely put War Woman there. I almost forgot about her. Thula is good. Thula, if you build her high like you build a battle beast, Thula actually can be great for you because of how many people are using Viltrumites. So maybe Thula could be at the bottom of great. Maybe. Maybe I'll put Thula at the bottom of great actually. Let me do that. I'll put Thula at the bottom of great. Um good. Think. Cecil is Cecil is good. He's individually not that good, but with the right team, he's good. So yeah, I'll put him there. I will put Powerplex over Monster Girl. I'll put Monster Girl over Dark Blood though. Trying to think. Sinister Mark, I would put above Dark Blood and good. And then last but not least for good, I think I'm gonna put Aquarius. And that's because Aquarius isn't the best healer, but he does remove immunity bubbles, and that is a huge necessary thing for GTA ops, for niche battle situations and stuff like that. He's actually a lot better than people give him credit for. So I think that makes up my good category. I think that will be my category for good. So now we're gonna be moving on to great. And when we get to great, these are the great options. Like you can't go. Great is basically meaning like you can't go wrong with these people. Like if you're using these people, you can't go wrong with them. Actually, Bulletproof does need to be down here. Bulletproof, I would say, is slightly above Sinister Mark, but below Monster Girl. I will say that. I forgot about him. But yeah, let's get to great. For great, we're gonna start out with. Excuse me. We're gonna start out with. We're gonna start with Thula. Then I'm gonna go Mark. OG Mark. Then I'm going to go the Maulers. Hear me out. The Maulers are good. Maulers are very good. They're very good / great together. But you need to have the right team, and you need to have the right people around them. You need to have the right artifacts. You need to have them built. So that plays a big factor. Then we're going to get to the healers. Now, Seance Dog. Seance Dog is better than Robot and Adam Eve in the sense of healing, but it's a lot harder to build the Seance Dog, so for that reason, I'm going to put him below them. So, like, I'm going to put Robot and Seance Dog next to each other, but I think Robot is a better, easier built character than Seance Dog, but Seance Dog is better, if that makes sense. It's easier to build Robot than it is to build Seance Dog, but Seance Dog's kit is better than Robot's kit, if that's like, you know. Then we're gonna go with Immortal. Can't go wrong with Immortal. Other than him being a human, you can't really go wrong with him. He's a really good character. I think Nolan is hard to build, so I might put Nolan a little bit down here. Nolan's a great character. Like he's really good. His damage is really, really good. He's just hard to build because there hasn't been much opportunities to get him. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in great. So yeah, I'm going to leave him there in great for right now. Holy shit. I was ignoring chat. And I did not realize we had that many people in here right now. Hi, guys. Sorry, I will be over there in a few. Rob, please make sure to be paying attention to the chat for me. I will be over there in a few, guys. Thank you for all the follows. I am so sorry. I was not paying attention at all. I'm locked in on the video. All right. 2, 1. So, yeah. I would say Nolan has a really good kit, but the main issue with Nolan is that he's hard to get. There hasn't been many opportunities to get him. So because there haven't been many opportunities to get him, therefore I can't put him too hot. And because of that same reasoning, another character that is great and new, Mr. Dinosaurus. He is actually really good. I think he is slightly better than Komodo, but I'm going to still put Komodo above him for right now because I think more people have Komodo built than they have Dinosaurus built. But I will say I do think Dinosaurus will jump him very soon. The same way I could say, like, I can see if we got more World Beyond events coming up, I can see a Nolan jumping up to over here. But for right now, I would say he's probably down there. Same thing with Seance Dog. If we get more case files, I could see him jumping beyond Robot. So, like, there are characters that can jump other characters, but they need something to happen for them to jump that character. Like, Finish the Mark, if his kit gets reworked, he can jump all these people and maybe get put into great. So, like I said, that plays a big factor. Red Rush is actually... I would put Red Rush in S tier, but because I am a little biased, I'm going to put him in great. Red Rush is very, very good at keeping his team alive while also giving damage boost to his team. The main thing that hurts Red Rush is that he doesn't actually apply healing the same way like the same way like Green Ghost doesn't. He doesn't actually apply healing, he applies immunity shields. But what makes him better, in my opinion, than Green Ghost is he actually gives his team a damage boost where she does not. All she does is give a whole bunch of invincibility, and the invincibility does help, and the healing that she does is mostly for herself to keep herself alive. She kind of works as like a healer / pseudo tank, but I don't know. I personally like the way Red rushes. And he has a little bit unique ability against Viltrumites, which is another reason why I think he works a little better. Now, one guy that is very good, that could arguably be an S, but I'm not putting him there. I did even build him recently. Agent Spider. I might actually knock this one down below there. I'll put him right there. Agent Spider is very good, and a lot of people use him. I don't think he's better than these two, but a lot of people do use him in Arena. He is very useful for damage, just overall being he can basically insta take out a Anissa and a Universa. He could basically instant take them out if you build him the right way with the right artifacts and stuff like that. But once again, is he the best of the best? No. Is he able to do the job that some people want him to do? Yes. So for that reason, he is a great character. Now we get to the one and only S tier, the place that everyone wants to hear about. Who's here? Who's in S tier? Now, I'm going to say this right now. Omni-Man. Omni-Man, in my opinion, is number 1 in great. I would put him in great. But due to his totem, and I see how much people talk about his totem and how much because I don't have him built that high. I have him at level 1000, but I don't use him often. So I don't have the best testing on him, I'm going to be totally honest. With his artifact, a good artifact, and with his totem, he's actually a very strong damage dealer. Far better than Mark, in my opinion. Damage-wise, he's far better than Mark. And he doesn't have a human tag that hurts him, like Mark. So for that reason, I am going to put him in S tier. Now, another person that works in S tier, in my opinion, that's slept on by some people, Doc Seismic. Doc Seismic is very good, especially with his totem. Now, he does somewhat hurt your team because of the human tag, but he does make up for it by being one of the only characters in the game that actually counters Viltrumites. He is one of the only characters in the game, not the only one, but one of the only ones that actually counter Viltrumites. Plus, his totem that allows him to summon Magnemites really changes the game for him. That it makes a big difference. Then we're gonna go with Battle Beast. Battle Beast is by far, if you build him the right way and you put the right artifacts on him, the artifacts you need to be putting on a Battle Beast needs to be one of these three. Either number one being Thrax and Armor, in my opinion. Thrax and Armor probably works the best for him. If not Thrax and Armor, Oxygen Helmet. If not Oxygen Helmet, Cans Lock. One of those three need to be on him. I use Thrax and Armor on him. The same kind of goes for these. Like, you got to use the right artifacts. So, like, for Doc Seismic, the best artifact, in my opinion, for him is probably the GDA Mines, because it makes his AoE effect that he does do more damage and affect more targets. The artifact I use on Nolan, I believe I use the Mark Grayson earpiece, I believe I use on him. Or is that on the other Nolan? I think I might use that actually on this Nolan, because his is a ranged, his is a area of affecting too. I don't remember which artifact I use on this Nolan. Let me check, because I have my phone right here. I can check for you guys. Which artifact do I use on my Nolan? Ooh, that's what I use. I use the new Ragnar Claw on him. That's what I use. I use the new Ragnar Claw on him to increase his critical damage. Yes, that's what I use. So, once again, artifacts play a big factor for all of these characters. We can go over artifacts for which characters and stuff like that later, if you want to. I'm going to be doing a separate video on artifacts, so maybe we'll go over it in that video. But yeah. Now, the next person I'm going to put after Mr. Battle Beast, I'm going to put Donald. Donald is actually a surprisingly good DPS with the ability to be alive pretty long time. And if you're catching my drift, DPSs matter. Yeah, he's a surprisingly good DPS. Like, because he doesn't have the human tag, he actually is really durable. His damage is really good. He kind of is a GDA version of Universa. And his immunity bubble does clutch up sometime and make him kind of a pseudo tank. He's kind of like a not a tank, but you can kind of use him in that way sometimes if you pair him with the right team. Yeah. Then the last but not the two people I would say that still do along here is gonna be Alan. Alan is still S tier. He's not in must use. He's in S tier in my opinion. And so I will also say so is Armored Adam Eve. They are both very, very, very good, and you can honestly swap this in whichever way you personally feel like. I can hear an argument for either person. Like, they're both kind of even. I think she's slightly better than him. I think her healing factor that she has is a little bit better than his, and I think her main ability is a lot better than his, which is why I put her over him. But his damage to World Beyond characters is far better than hers, so you can argue back and forth on who you want to put there. But I do believe they both are S tier and not must use. Now, for must use, this is where we're getting at. Number one at the bottom of must use is going to be General Krieg. Now, the reason I'm putting him at the bottom of must use is because you're only throwing him in you're not really throwing him in for his own damage, but you're throwing him in for two reasons. One, because he summons another Viltrumite, which is basically making the fight instead of a 5v5, a 6v5. So that's why you're using him. And then plus his bubble that he gives to his team at the start of a battle is extremely useful to keep his team alive and allow his team to have a great start into the fight. Plus, he has the leader tag, which is going to play a big factor on why we have a certain other person there. So yes, this is why he is in must use. Second person in must use is actually going to be Blue Suit Mark. Now, I originally wanted to put Blue Suit Mark higher than this, but the only thing that holds Blue Suit Mark back is that he has the human tag. And he definitely does punch above that human tag. He is definitely worth using, which is why he's in must use. The only downside to it is you have to kind of use him alongside Armored Adam Eve. If you're not using him alongside Armored Adam Eve, then you need to be making sure that you have him in the back line, and you need to be making sure that you have him with the right artifacts. The best artifact for Blue Suit Mark is Can's Lock. That is the best one by far for him. If not Can's Lock, either Thraxon Armor or Oxygen Helmet. I think Oxygen Helmet is a little bit better for him than Can's Lock than Thraxon Armor, but Thraxon Armor is also pretty good for him too. I use Can's Lock on him the same way I use Thraxon Armor on Battle Beast. For General Krieg, you can use a wide plethora of artifacts. The one I personally like to use on General Krieg is either Damien Darkblood Notebook, the Lotus Flower, or Burger Mart Burger. Those are the three that I use on my General Krieg. After General Krieg, we are going to go to Adam Eve. After Blue Suit Mark, we're going to go Adam Eve. Adam Eve is a must-use if you are using humans, or if you're not using a real support, she is a must-use. Adam Eve is probably one of the only humans that can actually out-heal the human tag. If you put Healing Gel, and that should be the only freaking thing you're using on her. Only artifact option is Healing Gel. If you don't have Healing Gel, then I'm going to be honest with you, there's no point to even run Adam Eve. Healing Gel is what makes her so broken. Healing Gel with her kit is just disgustingly good. She can actually out-heal the human tag as long as it's only 2 humans or 1 human on the team. If it's just her by herself with a whole bunch of people that aren't humans, she can actually out-heal that human tag that Anissa will sentence you to death for. Her and Blue Suit Mark, she can heal both of them because Blue Suit Mark is that good. Now, after her, I'm going to say Shapesmith. Nope. I'm going to say Shapesmith. Shapesmith is not human. He is probably the 3rd best overall healer in the game, and he is probably the 3rd best pseudo, if not the 3rd best, 2nd best pseudo tank in the game. Pseudo tank basically meaning as someone that's not a tank but can take in damage like he's a tank. He's number 2 or number 1 when it comes to that category. But yeah. Now, for the top 3, I'm talking about the top 3 in this game. We are going to go number 3. And it hurts me to do this because they are disgustingly good. I'm going to go with Anissa. Anissa is number 3. And the reasoning why Anissa is number 3 is if you are going against a team that doesn't have humans, she kind of serves no purpose. She still does good damage. She still has great health. She's still really good. But if the team doesn't have humans, you're kind of better off swapping her out for a Allen, for a Shapesmith, for a General Krieg, for a Battle Beast, for a Donald, for a Nolan. Like, you could swap her out for a lot of these characters if you're not going against humans. If you're going against humans, she's number 1, hands down. But if you're not going against humans, you can swap her out for some other people. Now for number 2, as much as I love him, And as much as I think he is number one, I gotta go Conquest. Conquest is number two. Now, only reason why I'm going to put Conquest at number two is because of this reason right here. Conquest, in my opinion, and not even my opinion, by facts, by stats, Conquest is the strongest hero in the entire game. He is the strongest hero in the entire game. He has the most health, he has the most defense, he has the most attack. His kit is one of the best kits in the game. He is the best character in the entire game. But Conquest deals damage to one target at a time other than his ultimate. The one person that doesn't deal damage to one target at a time and deals damage to all targets at once, and there is only one character in the entire game that does that, and that is Universa. Universa is number one simply because her Tripping the Light Fantastic ability is so utterly broken and disgustingly good. Thank you for the follow. Mystic 360. Her Tripping the Light Fantastic ability is so disgustingly good that it just cements her at number one for so long. She's been number one for so long. Like, she's literally have been number one since she's came out. And it's hard to move her out of number one because her Tripping the Light Fantastic ability is something that no one else can do in the game. No one else can do what she does in the sense of dealing damage to everyone on the enemy team at the same time like she can. She's the only one that can do it because she does it the whole time. It's not like only when she gets an ultimate. It's not only when she gets her ability. No, she's doing it 24/7. And another reason why she also catapults herself into the number one spot is the reasoning you would use a General Krieg because he has the leader tag for giving Conquest a dramatic damage boost. She can also do it. She can also do it as well. So she also is kind of needed if you're not using a General Krieg for a Conquest. Now, I'll be honest. Like I said, artifacts play a factor. For Shapesmith, you can be using Burger Mart Trash Bag. That's what I use on him. If not Burger Mart Trash Bag, you can be using Burger Mart Burger, or you can be using Healing Gel. All three work very well. I think Healing Gel is probably better than Burger Mart Burger. Then when it comes to Anissa, you want to be using, in my opinion, Oxygen Helmet. If not Oxygen Helmet, Thraxon Armor, or Canslock. For Conquest, you want to be using no other two artifacts. It's only two artifacts, at the most three. These are the only 2 to 3 artifacts you should be using on Conquest. Number one, Nero Link Chip. You need to be using the Nero Link Chip on Conquest. Hands down, no questions asked, especially if you are going against other Conquest. If you are not going against other Conquest, then you can take the Nero Link Chip off and add in the Burger Mart Trash Bag. The Burger Mart Trash Bag works the absolute best on Conquest and Shapesmith and Allen because of how high their defense is. After the Burger Mart Trash Bag, the only other artifact that is acceptable, and hear me out, I know you're going to be like, wait, what? Not that artifact? Are you serious? Yes. The Vital Tablet is probably the only third artifact that I would ever run on my Conquest. And the only reason is if you have his totem. If you have his totem, when Conquest reaches, I think it's 15% HP or 20% HP, he gets a 200% life leech ability. That plus the Vital Tablet allows Conquest to damn near full heal himself once he gets to that HP. He basically gets back to 100%. He gets to anywhere from 80 to 100% HP. That's basically giving your Conquest the ability to go from 10% HP back to 100% HP, like if he was Allen or Armored Adam Eve, which is disgusting because you know how good Conquest is. So those are the only 3 artifacts to run on Conquest. And then Universa is legitimately one artifact you should be running on her. If you're not running this artifact on her, you're tripping. The only artifact to be using on Universa is GDA Cloaking Device. That is it. That is the only artifact you should ever even consider running on Universa. That's it. Like, legitimately, that is it. Should be never any circumstance you're running anything else than that on her. Like, legitimately. No other artifact should be used on her other than cloaking device. That's it. And with that being said, this is our tier list. You can take a look at it. You can take a screenshot of it. Whatever you want to do. This is mine. Kingsley 727's tier list. This is my tier list as of right now of the game's current state. This is what I think of the characters in the game. Now, we're going to be getting a new character pretty soon. And I think I know who he is. And if I had to guess, he is going to be really good. So when he comes, I will do a quick updated tier list to just add him on here. So we don't got to wait a long time again. If they do any reworks or any patches, then we'll probably wait of other characters so we can get a, testing of them. But for right now, this is cemented. This is what I think. So you guys let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Who would you switch out? Who would you change in? Whatever you think. And let me know if you tried out the artifacts that I mentioned to put on the characters that I mentioned and see if they made your teams better. Or, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you did them, they made your team better. They would definitely not make your team worse. But with all that said and done, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the love and support you guys give me. And I wanted to get this one out for you guys because a lot of you guys have been asking for this tier list. So once again, I hope this helped you guys. But I love you guys. Hope this helps. Peace out. Have a good night, y'all.